talking about a nigga that'll fuck your whole world up. You and your boys make a scene, I'm thinking AC Green, cause it's gonna be at least 4 or 5 you niggas in the room curled up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You ain't nothing but a MC.
Welcome to another edition of The Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, bringing you the latest in battle rap news. And I am the illest battle rapper in the game. This week, we're going to take a trip elsewhere and talk about the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black male in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. Now, when I first heard about the situation, I'm going to be honest, with social media being what it is, I knew I could find it, but my immediate reaction was I didn't want to see it because it's just like, it's only so much you can take, but I knew at some point I was going to have to see it. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I know he was on one side of the car and then he walked away like he was going to his car. Police grabbed him. Next thing I know, you just heard the shots go off. Apparently, there was a man across the street who was filming it. Police say he had a knife. Other people said he didn't have a knife. I don't know how he survived, but he survived. But they say he's paralyzed from the waist down. I hope it's a situation where he can recover. But only God knows. Now, me talking about this is perhaps therapeutic for myself as well, because at some point I usually don't make blogs on stuff like this because I don't consider myself a trailblazer when it comes to these things. But at some point it's going to get spoke about, whether it's me talking to somebody on the phone or at the house. So I might as well do this. Like I said, I'm not what you would call a civil rights leader, somebody who's been on the front line, but I am a black man, and I'm proud to be a black man. But at the same time, I've never been a person who hates white people. That's just never been me, and I never will. I understand that some people are different. Some people hold everything against somebody. I don't, but I do understand there is a difference in terms of how we're treated. We've seen it numerous times where white people commit crimes and police just arrest them like they're normal human beings. We've seen videotapes where white people literally attack the police and they just find a way to just detain them. And my whole thing is this: there's such an abusiveness of power when it comes to the police. And there is no red light. It's just green, go. I mean, isn't that the whole purpose of having multiple police show up to the scene? If you feel in danger, you can grab the guy, subdue him, wrestle him to the ground. Why is everything the first thing to do is just to shoot to kill? I don't get that. I never would say that I was necessarily a fan of the police, but as I got older, I grew to despise the police. And yes, I do believe there's some good police out there. I don't think every police shoots people down or shoots black people down. But damn it, if you're on that side, you're on that side. Every Klan member might not be the type that's going to try to hang a black man from a tree. Maybe they just feel like we're the superior race, but all that other stuff, they don't want nothing to do with it. But at the end of the day, you're still in the Klan. No matter how much you may not endorse some of the other antics that they do, you may not be burning down houses and all that, but you're still part of the Klan. And as with the recent, I'm a sports fan, so, there was supposed to be basketball tonight, but the Milwaukee Bucks decided to boycott the game because it was the situation happened in their city. it would make sense. And followed by that, all the other games were canceled. And I was reading earlier that the Lakers and the Clippers voted to have the season ended. So let's see what happens. I'll be honest with you. I love basketball. And I would have loved to see LeBron James get his 4th ring. But more than that, I would love to see justice served once and for all. And at this point, maybe those guys are the only ones, maybe they're our last chance. Because they're in a sport where a lot of white dollars are invested. And maybe if they all strike, maybe we can get some type of justice. I don't know. But I will say this, it feels very helpless. You know, as a black man, I shouldn't have to get pulled over and be asked for my license and registration and be scared to go in the glove compartment. It makes no sense. I shouldn't be more scared of the cops than I am of the dudes on the street corner. But now, I'm way more scared of the cops than them dudes on the street corner. And it's a shame. And when I was younger, I was never somebody that you would say was in the street life. But I knew dudes that was like that, and they hated the cops. And part of the reason why they never spoke to the cops is because of their disposition. They just hated the police. Now I get it. I feel the same way. I don't care how much they're paying. I don't care if they hire me on the spot. That's one job I want no part of. And you hear constant stories about gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, the gangs in Chicago, but nobody talks about the biggest gang in the United States, the Red and Blue, the police. I mean, my mother came from Jamaica to come to this country for opportunity, along with a lot of other kids whose parents came from the island, came to this country for that reason. And here we are in 2020, and so much has changed, yet so much hasn't changed. And it's scarier to think that this is being done in the era of social media. So that really lets you know how much protection this gang has, to where they can feel comfortable to do this on social media. All they're getting is administrative leave. I don't know. I would be lying to you if I sat here and told you I know everything about politics. I don't. But if you're running for president and one of your agendas is to make sure policemen are properly punished if they commit a violent crime against anybody, you'd get my vote. I'm 50 years old. For as long as I can remember, I've never heard about a cop being severely punished for shooting somebody down. Think about it. A person can wrongly accuse me, a woman can wrongly accuse me of doing something to her right now, no proof. Cops will come right to my house and arrest me. How many times have we, and I'm not saying it was just black, but how many times have we heard these stories about, I saw something the other day about two brothers that was arrested, been in jail for over 20 years for a crime they didn't commit. Crime they didn't commit. And these dudes are shooting people on camera, and they not hardly getting no punishment. When can you ever dudes selling drugs and they getting 55 to life or whatever type of numbers? If I'm in a car and I drop somebody off and they do the crime, I get just as much time as that person. I didn't do nothing but drop them off. But these guys are shooting people down, shooting black people down. And if they're shooting a white person too, they shouldn't get away with that either. But I'm just dealing with the specifics of what we're talking about right now. And they're getting away scot-free. I haven't yet heard about a policeman getting life in jail or a policeman doing 25, 30 years in jail. Unbelievable. It's so, it's sad because it makes you feel like there's no answer for it. I mean, how this is a gang, man. There's no bigger gang than this. When you can do stuff like that and get away with it, imagine your manager at your job being able to literally push you to the floor. Cameras watching them. They got it on camera. And all they do is suspend them for a couple of weeks with pay. That's the worst punishment he gets. If that ain't a gang, then what is? And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, I feel like they've stepped it up. Now they're fighting little girls, little kids, old women, and ladies, punching them, pushing them down with no remorse. I'm like, who hired these people? A woman is a woman, Puerto Spanish, white, Indian. Come on. And they're getting away with it. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, as much as, like I watched TNT earlier, Kenny Smith made a very powerful speech that he has to join the players, and he walked off. And I just feel like I hate the situation because it makes you feel so lost. It's like, what do I say? What do I do? It's like you can't. Black Lives Matter, yes. But what I want to hear is we, the jury, find the cop that killed George Floyd guilty of murder. Life in jail. Until we start hearing stuff like that, ain't nothing changing. Ain't nothing changing. And it's just like, this is just appalling. To where this can happen on a regular basis. Think about it. With the George Floyd situation happening, that did not slow the police down. We still gonna do what we do. You know why? Because we're protected. So it doesn't matter. People are abusing power. I mean, it's not the same thing, but I remember when I used to go to the clubs, and sometimes the bouncers would have to throw people out, and the bouncers would just get rough and just beat the person down. And I would think to myself, you're a bouncer, your job is to throw them out the club, not to beat them up. Some people got anger issues, and when they get in a position like that, they just use that as a way to vent. But you should be punished when you act that way. The police is supposed to be pillars of the neighborhood, of the community, to make you feel safe. But instead, these are people that bring horror to your spirit and to your soul. I shouldn't feel afraid if I get pulled over for speeding, if that was the case. I should know, okay, I'm going to show this man my license. Worst case scenario, he gives me a ticket, I go about my business. But now everything has just changed. And here we are in 2020, and it's just getting worse. Think about it, on camera. I mean, even though he wasn't a policeman, George Zimmerman, a local neighborhood security, decides he's gonna play the policeman, shoots Trayvon Martin dead He gets away with it. He might as well have been a police. How ironic that he acted as if he was the police and he got away with it. You're not even a policeman. Why are you touching the young man? I don't get it. I just don't get it. How people, we have so many people that are in jail for crimes they didn't commit. You know, how can somebody accuse a person of rape? They have no blood samples, nothing, but yet the person be in jail for years. And you have this, where the proof is right there. It's right there. Administrative leave with pay. It's not right that a person like me has to sometimes think, what if I moved to Italy, or what if I moved to Venezuela? I hear it's low crime over there, or the cops don't treat you better over there. Isn't that a horrible way to have to live, to ask somebody, how do the cops treat you over there? And this is supposed to be my country. They have a saying, when somebody who is considered a threat to society is arrested, they say the world is a better place. You know, when a notorious drug dealer is brought down, the world is a better place. Serial killer, the world can now breathe a sigh of relief. Well, you know what? The world won't be a better place until they put a stop to this gang called the police and get them doing their job the right way. Because if not, this world will not be a better place. These people are the scum of the earth. They care about no one. And what they're doing to the we can't even say black youth, just black men in general. Cruel and unjust. I don't know what to say. I wish I knew. I wish I had the answers, but I don't. But one thing I know, this shit ain't right. And on that note, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.